you excited about your car?
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you ever gonna drive it?
No. I did this to get better mileage, but I'm never driving this
Do you
car.
have any reservations about what's going on?
I have no particular feeling. I just kind of let Utah take the wheel. Utah and Ken do whatever they want. It's pretty much what's been going on anyway.
Yeah, have you had any input at all other than the intake?
Yeah, I bought the intake. Well, actually, that wasn't even my input. Utah told me to buy it, and I was like, oh, good, because I wanted to buy that at some point. It was a great deal. Thank you, Nathan.
So the only input you've had is supplying the vehicle.
Yeah, and raw materials.
Yeah, and paying for everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, not everything. A decent amount, but
yeah.
I know Utah has spent his own money for some reason on this car.
Yeah. And just the 500 hours of labor.
Yeah. It's at least 350, that's for sure.
Things have been a little slow at the shop, I guess. Well, not really slow, I guess. Not a whole lot of stuff to do content on, I guess, but we've been pretty busy here at the shop. Give you some more updates on the TSX in a bit, but what I've been working on the last few weeks, or last week, is tearing apart this 2J to do some maintenance on it and to get it ready for smog inspection, because I need to get this car back on the road. And one of the main issues was we needed new ignition coils, which are known to go bad on these cars, especially on this motor. And I don't know if you guys saw the engine bay before when we were installing the hood and the bumper and stuff, but it's pretty fucked. Pretty dirty. So I went ahead and tore everything apart. I took the intake manifold off, throttle body, and intake obviously. Took the valve covers off and changed the valve cover gaskets because whoever did the job before didn't do a great job, and it was coming a little bit loose, so I was losing a lot of oil while I was driving, I noticed. And the back valve cover, the bolts over here, they were pretty loose, so I guess they had probably just come loose over time because they weren't tightened down correctly or whatever. So I went and cleaned up the valve cover and try to make it as clean as possible without having to paint shit. Just wanted to get it back to OEM spec, you know. So I've actually even been paying a lot more to get stuff from the dealerships because I've been trying to keep this car as, I guess, OEM as possible. Like not a resto mod, but just modding it cleanly, but with as many dealer parts as I can, because surprisingly there's still a lot of dealership OEM parts available for the stuff from the dealer. So I've just been driving back and forth from the dealership every day, trying to get stuff. Like one of the main things I had to get was these new clips for the ignition coil, because on the harness they tend to break, and they get super brittle and they break into pieces. So I had to order these new clips, and then we had to depin the old ones and then reconnect. This one's depinned right now, and I'm about to do this one. You just need a little pin thing to get this clip off so you can slide the wires in, but I don't have an actual tool for it, so I've been using this old weak fest pin because it has this sharp point on it, and that works just fine. So we've just been making do with whatever I have here, and things look a lot better now. It's a little bit cleaner. I'd scrubbed the intake manifold and then that separate section. The throttle body I tried to clean. It's inside in a box somewhere, but that obviously is not as clean as it could be. But I mean, shit, things are starting to look a little bit better. Hopefully once the car gets going again, it'll run right. And for you guys that don't own 2Js, you'll never know the pain of having destroyed plugs like this. For whatever reason, 2Js, the connectors, are super brittle, so over time they just kind of break. This one is probably one of the few good ones. Everything else is pretty broken, so I have to replace those. The igniter one is actually cracked when I replaced the igniter on this one, also from Ignition Projects, but that broke and I can't get a replacement for this one, so I actually super glued it in place, off the plug of course, so it doesn't glue onto the plug. But yeah, just been doing random maintenance things here. It's looking pretty good. The engine bay, despite how dirty it is, it's looked the best it's ever looked since I've owned the car. But yeah, the coils hopefully will make a big difference. Got new spark plug wires. I ordered this new piece right here from the dealership too to separate the wires. There's a little clip back here. I don't know if you can see it. It literally just holds the one single spark plug wire. That was gone, so I went and replaced that too. Just little knickknacks here and there. Just trying to use all the OEM Toyota stuff, you know, because I like this car and I want to keep it running as long as possible. And you know, you got to use good quality stuff if you want that to happen. Timing belt's pretty new. Yuta did that like a couple years ago, and then the car just kind of sat because I've just been having issues with the spark and losing a lot of oil. And yeah, we're on a roll to getting this thing going. Some major updates to the TSX since you guys last saw it.
Well, it depends on what you consider major, I guess.
It's pretty major considering the last time people saw it, the roof was cut off. So.
Okay, so the roof's back on.
Yes.
And in the process, we also decided to remove all the sound deadening.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was after, right? So we removed all the sound deadening.
Yeah. Put the glass back in.
Huh?
The glass is back in.
Oh yeah, glass is back in. I think sound deadening is seam sealer removal.
Yeah, it's pretty bare now.
Then we actually pulled everything out. I ended up pulling the dash out, took all the wiring out, reduced it to be only exactly, well, pretty much all we need.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, you can see that on both sides here on the rocket, or the, I guess the, I don't know, fucking side
Frame.
bulkhead.
Yeah.
No, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So, and I actually rerouted it because, you know, when you're like going to the, I guess, racetrack or whatever, you have your shit in here.
Uh-huh.
And then like having, especially like in the trunk area, having a harness there, like something always gets snagged. So, I tucked it into the quarter panel area, so it just comes down right where the lights are. Because everything in the back room you don't need. Fuel pump wiring harness just runs through that dongle there, that grommet for the ABS.
You're gonna put a beam back there or no?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually box this in and then just weld a dealio there. Either myself or Ken, we haven't decided yet, that's why I haven't done it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Ken was planning on something specific or if I was just gonna...
I don't even think he thought of any of it yet. He's probably one of those guys that thinks about it when he actually sees it.
The Ken's been hella busy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He came by yesterday though, and took all the seam sealer off.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, he just showed up.
Okay.
And then, but, so, everything behind the dash, well, not counting the obvious stuff, like the airbag, the passenger side airbag, and the radio.
Mm-hmm.
That stuff was removed, like, pretty much, well, when we last weighed the car, which was right before we took the roof off, it was 2847 pounds. So at that point, it was probably down about 400 pounds from stock. And then at that point, the airbag and radio were both already, well, sorry, just the airbag was removed. So after that, I took the dash out and removed enough stuff from behind it that it dropped another 50 pounds. A lot of like the dash framing and stuff, a lot of it was to hold the airbag in place. There's no more airbag, so that's removed. Change the shifter, hybrid racing, of course.
Yeah.
We don't use anything else. And yeah, now it's just and then actually the plastic on the outer portion of the dash, it's super thick. So I actually cut some holes out of that where it wasn't necessary. Most of the trim will go back on, but
because he has AC and everything in here still, right?
We retained AC and heater and full control. So I'm actually like redoing the whole radio panel because we're actually looking for aftermarket head unit and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Naturally, the Alpine. I don't know. I just like Alpine a lot. So now we don't need like the OEM CD changer control shit. So I'm trying to basically just cut out the heater area stuff, relocate the circuit board from kind of like to like a horizontal position,
Mhm.
and then have that right under the vents. When it goes back, and you'll see it. Either, or maybe you won't because I will fail. But and then, I redid the ducting for for all the air conditioning stuff behind the dash, so that only the driver's side works and blocked out the passenger side.
Oh, yeah, because there's no passenger gonna be in here.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then what happened here?
I mean, you clear out all the stuff back there, right? So fuse boxes in here now.
So naturally, electronics typically don't like heat. There's probably going to be a lot more heat involved, just from the general use of the car after this. There's a lot of it being, I guess, at higher RPMs in daily driving. So that shit just kind of just snowballed, I guess.
Yeah.
I just started rerouting some stuff, like that was simple, just to make it easier to work on the car, to get as much electronics out away from the engine bay. And when we were replacing the glass, we noticed that the cowl area is like huge and unused.
Yeah.
So the drive-by-wire TPS stuff, mounted it in there. Initially, I was like, it's good enough.
Is he keeping wiper motor?
Yeah, keeping all that because it's a street car. I mean, it has AC and heaters, so.
I thought that's just because Andrew gets hot.
Well, I mean, I figured if we're gonna do that, then I guess no, it just seems sensible.
Yeah, just in case kind of thing, right?
Yeah. So I'm trying to move as much stuff out from the engine bay, and also to move as much weight as I can further back in the car rearward, because right now, like, the weight bias is hella towards the front.
Yeah, because everything's. I mean, that's the only place where there's weight.
Yeah, I think I don't know, I can't remember the crossweights off the top of my head, but I'll get back to you on that after we weigh it. This section right here, it was strangely thick, where like basically the mounting point for the hood latch and all that, the OEM. I just noticed how thick it was, and I cut it out because I have this Tanave rear tie bar.
Yes.
It's originally meant for EK. Obviously EK rear subframe, or whatever the hell that is.
So you have to cut this to clear this.
Yeah. So I just thought it'd be kind of nifty. It's like, cause it's like super light and super strong.
Yeah.
I can like push and pull a car from this shit, dude.
Yeah.
So like it's good. And then I think it's aluminum, and it weighs 2.5 pounds less than the section I replaced. And I was like, oh shit, we'll just drill and tap and mount the hood latch to that. And
this is just for style points right here.
well, originally
this is a brand new Group M intake. Oh my god.
we were just like talking about how sick that shit looked.
Yeah, and he found it.
And then one day I was like on OfferUp or something, and I sent Andrew a link because it was like $450. And then he looked, and then he noticed another listing that was for a brand new one, and it ended up being Nathan.
Yeah.
Nathan Chan.
What are the odds?
Yeah, Nathan Chan, right? Chan.
Chan.
Yeah.
And what's going on here?
Wait, hold on. So.
Oh, we're still talking about this.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So since Andrew was willing to go all the way out of his way to buy that.
Yeah.
I wanted to look as nice as possible, so that was the catalyst. Like that was what convinced me. I was like, you know what? I'll just relook at the entire fuse box to the other side of the car.
Oh.
Because in doing so, I guess I've touched every single wire on this car now, except for the engine harness. Engine harness is completely stock right now.
And the motor's gonna stay stock, other than the intake.
For as long as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. It'd be really cool to see what it can do. Just stock engine, stock transmission, just with
intake exhaust.
Well, that's stock, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not. We're not gonna reflash it or anything. Yeah. I mean, we don't have any kind of.
Holy shit! This is like ripped as fuck.
Well, you order another one. It just It was like that. It was
the Group M uses a factory tube.
So he ordered a new one.
Holy shit! What happened?
I think it's just old. No. So.
And this.
This duct, originally a NASCAR part that I just bought from North Carolina. I don't know who exactly.
Wasn't this for your Civic?
I just buy them when they pop up. I don't have any I think it was, but fuck it, whatever. I do have to make some modifications to it, but
You gotta cut it.
yeah, basically I gotta enlarge this to suit, because I imagine they have something that they clear here.
Yeah.
But I think the rule of thumb is for inlet, a ducting inlet, 25% of the surface area should provide enough airflow that it wouldn't whatever, like maximum efficiency basically. I don't know why Billy's behind the camera, but yeah.
And then you're gonna run an oil cooler and stuff too.
Yeah, so this I guess the other purpose of all this is it frees up some room, creates mounting locations,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah, just
It's getting there.
pretty standard stuff, I guess, for like just like performance oriented transition of a car.
How many hours have you put into this now, you think?
I don't know, like 200-ish, 300, I don't know. Wait, is that a lot?
That's a good amount.
At minimum wage, it's like $3,000, man.
If it's $100 an hour labor.
It usually is, right?
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't charge 30K for this. And also they keep buying a hell of a bunch, you know?
Yeah, they buy you drinks.
And they keep buying me food and drink, and
Yeah. So the roof is all riveted on, and then you're gonna seal it soon.
I'm gonna seal it tonight, actually, or today. It's pretty much nighttime now.
And then we replaced the glass originally with the glass that was taken off except for the windshield, which broke on transport, right?
Yeah, something like that. We like Andrew had found, or we had found like Japanese CL7 glass.
Yeah, which
And
was supposed to be lighter, right?
Yeah, it was supposed to be lighter. I think it was at a JSH motor or something like that in Bakersfield.
Yeah.
And they were kind enough to weigh it for us. So they're just like, oh yeah, like if you're trying to see if it's worthwhile, we'll weigh it. And for whatever reason, this glass was actually lighter.
And it's aftermarket glass. OEM glass.
OEM glass in the back, aftermarket in the front. The aftermarket makes sense as lighter.
Yeah.
Just because it's probably, you know, not as durable
yes.
and nice or whatever. But the rear is strange. I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, but for whatever reason, so we decided against that because it would be pointless for the intended purpose. And yeah.
And the ride height is down now, right?
It is. Wait, it's about the same now. I had to adjust it.
Yeah.
Because it actually got really high because of weight we kept pulling out.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 14 kg millimeter in the front, 10 in the rear. So you figure, I guess for every, I don't know, fuck, that's a lot of math.
Yeah.
I don't know, Billy can feel you.
It's lower now.
So I lowered it back down to accommodate. Also, it visually looks lower because there's more camber in the front now and less camber in the rear. I shaved the quarter panel in the rear and I did some secret exhaust in the front. And so yeah, I'm still playing with the ride height. Also, we'll get it on a rack and then that'll kind of help determine the final stuff.
Yeah.
I do want to check the weights and also get the alignment down and just kind of go over it again.
You're gonna be running CF hood too, right?
Yeah, that's on order.
And trunk?
And trunk.
Who makes a trunk?
Esteban.
Oh,
Yeah,
of course.
All of them make trunk.
Where's that M&M rear trunk panel that you're talking about?
Probably at Yasu's.
Oh, are you still gonna run that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's nice, and it'll, I don't know, maybe lessen some noise.
And then,
I don't know, we'll see how much it weighs when it shows up.
And then exhaust, Ken is probably gonna do, right?
Ken's gonna make one.
I tried to get him to make a titanium one and he said no.
I think he's gonna do aluminum.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting to see, especially on NA,
Mhm.
because per, I guess, volume of material, aluminum is actually lighter than titanium. Just on turbocharged cars or cars that have required like somewhat complex layout.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of bends, it just immediately crack. That's the issue. This one's it's NA and it has a pretty simple layout, so I think he's gonna give it a shot. Yeah.
Should be interesting.
Yeah. This thing, it's like I wanted to go to Ken's first, so he can get whatever he thinks of at that moment he can do, and then I'll paint it.
Yeah, I feel like there's a bunch of weird shit that he's gonna make for it.
I think so too. I think he's just gonna do a lot of Ken stuff, and I don't want him picking up the paint and having to repaint those spots. So I'm just gonna give it.
He's gonna put all the weight back into the car.
I also want to drive it first to see if anything does need to be addressed, and then we'll paint it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do need to get it painted we do need to paint it soon though, because they just decided to take all the steam sealer off. So there's a lot of raw metal now.
Yeah. And
So
then,
I'll give it like a month or so before I need to like actually.
and then Billy's gonna be the driver.
I think.
Like, give it a
I
go.
mean, yeah, sure, why not?
That big
Yeah,
ass
we
seat.
should see between myself, who's as old as fuck and like way out of practice, Ken, who's still more
Yeah.
in practice, and then Billy, who's current. See who's
And Andrew.
the fastest.
Oh yeah, it'd be a good driver battle.
And Andrew's always been fast on the mountain,
But not on the track.
but he just never really ever went to track stuff. So.
He did FF battle that one time.
He wasn't. I don't even think he drove. Did he?
Could be a dark horse, man.
He did drive.
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Did he like secretly win that shit?
No, because he was using the wrong tires, dude.
Oh, because they just picked them. Oh, anyway, that's a whole other story. That's sort of another day.
But yeah,
Okay, yeah, fuck it, yeah. Between the four of us then.
driver battle.
Driver battle. Whoever gets it last is gonna go the slowest for sure. This car's gonna be fucking done.
This will be cool to see, right? Like you don't see a lot of TSXs being built to
Yeah.
this extent. So
This is like super. This is like bare preparation though. This is like bare necessity
yeah.
to go to the track. You know.
I think for like 90s era Honda, this would be like normal.
Uh-huh.
But then for TSX, I don't think people are still going to commit as much as this.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
I
it'd
mean,
be cool
it's
to see.
still very reasonable. It has AC, dude.
Yeah.
It has wipers. It has glass windows,
True.
metal doors,
Yeah.
seat belts,
Sound system.
sound
Sound
system, 18s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is like a total street car.
Stock brakes.
For now. For
Sorry.
now. For now.
Okay, so everything is pretty much back together now, for the most part. Try to clean up as much as I could. It definitely looks a lot cleaner than when I started. But this is the last thing that I need to change. And you can see this harness plug is completely fucked. This goes to the throttle body. I think they call it like the distributor plug connector. And as you can see, we've been using tape to hold it all together, and the wires are barely even in there. So they're about to fall out. I ordered the plug from the dealer, but it's taking such a long time to get, even though everything else is coming in about a day or so. Luckily, Ryan from Rywire had this extra one that he was willing to let me have, because he builds 2J harnesses at the shop. And originally I couldn't find it, but and then I want to order from eBay or something, so good thing he had it. All I gotta do now is change that, plug that back over to here, and then try to get this car fired up. It's been such a long time, and my battery died, so I'm currently using a Honda battery in here, a 51R size battery, but it works. It's actually from the TSX that we've been working on, and he's going with a lightweight battery, so I'm gonna use that for now to get some juice into this car. Not even clipped in anymore. Literally just pull them out. Normally they kind of snap in place. Yikes. RIP. Everything's in there. There you go. And that's all locked in. Zip tie on here that I can cut now. Plug in the O2 sensor harness too, and then we are good. And then we'll try to fire this thing up. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. So finally got this thing running. It took a while because I was only working on it maybe like an hour or two, 2 hours max per day outside of the shop. Ran into some issues yesterday where I just had like coolant just like dumping out to the exhaust manifold, and you can still see the stains of it on the exhaust manifold. And I had no idea why the fuck it was dumping. I was like, there's no reason why the fucking coolant would be dumping out on the exhaust manifold side. So I was getting super frustrated and thinking that like there's something wrong with the head, or maybe I had hooked up a line or vacuum and coolant line backwards, but for this part I had everything back in place. And I got annoyed yesterday, so I stopped working on the car. Kind of got unmotivated, I guess, after that whole situation, because it was like dumping coolant out. And then so I called my friend Billy, who has his own wagon, so I can compare just to see if I had anything mixed up. And as it turns out, there's this coolant line back here that you can see that it looked like it was mounted, but I guess because of my excitement and also working in the dark, you can still see some of the coolant right there. I forgot to attach this line to the fitting, and that was the reason why coolant was just dumping straight out into the manifold. So that was super annoying. And I made sure it runs now, drove it around, got it to operating temperature, and then cruised it around the parking lot, and everything seems good. No check engine lights or anything, so looks like we're good to go with this thing, hopefully. The lighting's not great, but I actually got the car washed yesterday, so it's like nice and clean now. Car's running, appears to be running pretty well. No issues thus far. And next piece of the puzzle came in today, thanks to the FedEx guy and Yokohama Tires for helping me out and supplying me with these Advan Apex V601 tires. Gonna get these mounted on the new Advan TC4 soon. You know, gotta get that matching package. And then we're gonna test fit the wheels and see how it works before we eventually get the car over to the body shop. So Utah is now putting 4-lug rears into his DC5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems to work.
Because they're lighter.
Well, it's lighter, and also because we have the Regas.
And you have the wheels already for it. Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I think it's kind of cool.
How clean your exhaust is. Yeah.
Well, I just put it on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then you stop driving the car.
Yeah, because fucking Andrew's car's above my life.
Yeah.
It's a Tanabe medallion. Tanabe touring medallion. Also not for this car.
Nope. You're just pretty much just cramming different things into this car to make it work.
It's basically all the stuff that, yeah.
Look at the zip tie. Nice color
Zip tie,
choice.
man.
It's like a neon yellow fucking, it's holding your brake line on. Oh,
Oh,
not
yeah.
your brake line. Cable.
For a period of time, I didn't have any zip ties.
This is the one hub that took months to come in.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. Looks like it's Scott's car. This is Scott from Coil Red's car right here.
Oh shit, he has the real Advan ones.
His daily driver, 500 horsepower B series turbo.
Built by June.
Yeah, built by
In
June.
1996.
Yeah.
It was so ahead of its time that they actually used a Macintosh 2 to tune it.
It's so rare
Like
that
an Apple II.
the original Advan stickers are black and white. You didn't even know that, huh?
No, the whole car is, there's no color because I don't know, man. This is,
It's nice.
I feel like we should be way more high to be having a vision.
Was it just a single cam, right? And this was Jaime's old car? Wow. This might have been the cleanest car that Jaime's owned until his
It
JZX.
was.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. His JZX is fucking...
Before the JZX.
No, he's had like FDs and he had like really clean FC.
FD wasn't that clean.
He had his that Mexico blue one.
Mexico blue?
Porsche Mexico-
Montego blue?
No, it's Mexico blue. It's a Porsche color. Remember that like
It's kind of racist.
no, it's a 990. Wow, pick me up here. Mexico blue is a Porsche color. 997 color.
Yeah, sure, okay.
Anyways,
Oh, you have it. Oh, you're looking for this? Here.
Teamwork.
Scissor me. I was like, losing my fucking goddamn mind.
So over here at our compound, getting my tires mounted up. And Wayne's there.
Scissor me.
Utah's getting these Regamasters mounted to these old ass tires so you can put in his DC5.
Did you get these regulars already? They're
Hmm?
like the fancy ones.
Why? Because the sticker's different?
Yeah.
You can order these stickers anytime.
Well, you know what? I don't have them on mine. What's
It's just an optional sticker.
How come I didn't get the optional?
Do you want the purple stickers?
Kinda. It's
kind of cool.
Yeah. It kind of is like a cleaner look.
Yeah.
That's a lot less stretch. Yeah.
It's the Rigamaster Evo 2s. Mounted up now on the 4-lug setup on the DC5.
Alright, Scott, I will see you later.
Later.
That's a sick ass car.
Got my wheels and tires mounted.
That's my dad?
Oh fuck, it is.
Because, yeah, I think it was in your car anyways. Oh, I'll just put that shit. Yeah, it's your dad. Oh, okay, that's you're like the one I was like, look at this.
So recently put this
My dad, okay.
Gritty front lip on here.
It was like one of the first. I think it was like
was it
one
still
of
called a Gracer lip?
the, yeah.
Gracer?
I think it was like one of the first ones like that came out like for the car, like when it was like brand new. And it's always been available. They're still made in Japan, and like I guess nobody just buys them.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't see them very often, but it fits amazing. It's not. It's just sitting there. Yeah. Yeah. I ordered it, came in, kind of really excited about
Yeah,
it.
that changes the look of the car.
Cause the car looked stupid before.
Yeah, without a front lip. And then we finished the 4-lug in the rear.
Yeah, it's full look now. Yeah. I just use an EP3 rotor and pretty much any 01 to 05 Civic hub. It just fits.
And the caliper bolts right onto it.
Well, the caliper is the same for EP3.
Oh, okay.
So the EP3, DC5, and Integra Type R use the same caliper, same bracket. So this is it's like a slightly larger disc than I don't know, like a EM1 or a DC2. I'm gonna see now if I can downsize the rear rotor to the EM1 or base DC2 size.
Really?
I just changed the caliper and bracket and see if I mean, if the opposite works, like 90% sure it's gonna work.
Just because it'd be lighter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like don't really need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, or maybe not. Who knows? The brake pads, as it turns out, have a fuckload of life, so maybe I'll just keep it. Yeah. Honestly, the lip is probably the most exciting thing.
Yeah.
The rear, it just keeps getting higher and higher. Because as I pull the weight out, I think I have to go with the 127 spring. But at the same time, like aesthetically, I think I want to go with a slightly taller tire in the front.
Yeah.
And run a little more camber. Yeah. I don't know, I've worked on this car like maybe 45 minutes the last month.
Oh, those are 2-door. Yeah, those.
I'll make some time and like actually go through and do this stuff. Like, I like to make it look a little, actually, presentable soon.
Yeah.
We'll see. For the time being, it'll do.